Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Roden. And in today's video, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great turkey day. I got a haircut, so I was buying my hoodies up because I look like an idiot right now, so putting that right back up there, buddy. I hate how I look always immediately after haircuts. But happy turkey day, man. I hope everybody's stuffing up, getting stuffed paws. I hope you guys are having a great day. Technically, I'm recording this the day before Thanksgiving, so I actually haven't experienced Thanksgiving yet, but I'm sure I'm going to have a great day, so I'm probably having a great time. Hope you guys are as well. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving for whatever reason, well, I hope you're having a great day nonetheless. You know what I mean? And in today's video, we are going to be going over 5 reasons to buy and 5 reasons not to buy a Honda Accord 7th generation. Now, I wrote out a disclaimer here, but I still don't have it memorized like in head, so I'm going to read it off my computer right now, so bear with me. I'm going to not be looking at you guys for a second. But I scoured the internet to see what all owners of 7th gen Accords were saying and got the common complaints and the most common praises about the car here for you. However, I have never actually owned one of these cars myself, so if you think I got something wrong or would like to add something and you are an owner of a 7th generation Accord, the comments are public and I will absolutely give your comment one of those heart things. I do not want to spread misinformation despite what some people may think. I want nothing more than to help people out when it comes to if they want to buy a 7th gen Accord. So again, if there's anything else that you guys think should be added to this list or anything that you think I got wrong, I'd greatly appreciate a comment below. It's not me trying to comment fish, I promise. I just don't want to spread misinformation. Either way, movie of the day is Home Alone. We're in that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thanksgiving's today and Christmas is around the corner, New Year's is around the corner. Gotta watch Home Alone. You gotta watch it. If you've never watched it before, go watch it. It's a great movie. Without further ado, let's go right into it with the reason number one why I think you should buy a 7th generation Accord. Just choked. Damn it, man, I fell off again. That was a long intro. I was rambling again. I've been doing good with it. I've been doing good with my rambling. I haven't been yapping quite recently, but I fell off today, unfortunately. I relapsed. I had a rambling intro today, sorry. Either way, reason number one why I think you should buy a 7th generation Accord is simply put the price. These cars are dirt freaking cheap. You can find exactly whatever trim level that you want. Whether it's a coupe, you can find a 6.6, which is a 6-speed manual V6 7th generation Accord for under 5K. You can find a K-Series 7th gen Accord for under 5K. You can find whatever 7th gen Accord that you want for less than $5,000 with however many miles you want for the most part. Now, obviously, once you get into the point where it's like 50,000 miles or something, like perfect spec, blah, 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 obviously, yeah, then it's going to be a little bit more than 5K, but I don't think there's ever going to be any 7th gen Accord that you'll find for more than like 10 grand at most, and that's pushing it even. So the price of these cars are absolutely dirt cheap. They fit almost anybody's budget, and they literally do fit everybody's budget because you could find like a really clapped one for like 1 grand if that's all you need, if that's all you have, if you're really balling on a budget. However, reason number one why I think you should not buy a 7th generation Honda Accord: the sound. Yeah, the sounds of these cars are definitely not anything special. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the intro, but at the end of these videos, I tell you whether or not I actually think you should buy the car, depending on like everything around it. Like if I actually think it's my final thoughts, if you will. But yeah, the sounds of these cars are not incredible. If you're a sound nerd when it comes to cars, this is definitely going to be a little bit of a lackluster one. It's no secret that Hondas, specifically the inline 4 Hondas, are a little bit annoying. They're a little bit fart cans, and they can get a little annoying, even with like a really expensive nice exhaust on it. It's still not going to sound great just because it is a 4-cylinder. It would never sound as good as something like a V8, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, this isn't make it or break it. I have an Integra, for those who don't know, and I actually kind of grew to like the sound in a way. Yeah, it still is a little bit nagging when you get up there in the higher RPMs, but when you're just driving around town, it is like a nice, I don't mind it. Reason number two, however, why I think you should buy a Honda Accord 7th generation. Again, should have mentioned this in the intro, but this is how the video works. Is first I go over one reason why I think you should, and then I go over one reason why I think you shouldn't, and then I go over one reason why I think you should, until we get to 10 total, 5 of each. But reason number two as to why I think you should is the aftermarket support, the parts pricing, and the ease of use. I guess you can say it's more so like how easy they are to work on. The aftermarket, let's go over each one individually. The aftermarket support is absolutely through the roof, especially for the K-Series, but even the J32, I think is what the motor's called, it does have tons of aftermarket support for it. These cars, the aftermarket support is plentiful, and it's all pretty cheap, which leads us to the next thing, parts pricing. If something breaks on this car, it's really not the end of the world because an O2 sensor is going to be $60. Ask me how I know. My Integra is literally $60 for an O2 sensor. That's extremely cheap. So that's very good as well. And then on top of all that, it's still not that bad because working on these things are a piece of cake. They're like Legos. Everybody says that about Hondas, and they're not wrong. It's easily one of the easiest cars in the world to work on, especially this, like, around these years. 90s and early 2000s Hondas are definitely a little bit easier, but these are still not that bad. Yeah, they have a little bit more technology in them, but it's a very, very good car if you're new to mechanics to learn how to work on cars. However, reason number 2 why I think you should not buy a 7th generation Honda Accord is going to be going to the looks. Not that I don't think these cars look good. I want to make that crystal clear. I actually like the 7th Gen Accord's looks. I'm one of the very few people that do, however, and so that's why I put it here as a reason why you shouldn't buy it. I think that the vast majority of people out there aren't going to be blown away by the looks of the 7th Gen Accords. Not that I think they're going to call them ugly or anything, because I don't think anybody would call it ugly. I just think a lot of people would probably look at this car and say that it's a boring car, because at the end of the day, it kind of is in terms of looks. It is just a Honda sedan, especially stock. They're really not that special, especially if you get like a beige one, and it's just kind of boring, right? I personally think it's good looking, but that's just because every time I see a 7th Gen Accord, I always imagine the potential behind it. I've seen the modified ones and everything like that. But again, that's the car guy in me. If you're not really super into cars and stuff like that, and you don't have that drive or creativity, that sounds like I'm glazing myself, but you get what I'm trying to say, then you might think these are boring. However, reason number 3 why I think you should buy a 7th generation Honda Accord is the reliability. Again, this is something that's just so freaking obvious when it comes to talking about Hondas, especially 2000s and 90s Hondas. But yeah, they're just reliable as hell, man. They really are. They have that reputation for a reason. Like, they just are bulletproof, especially the K-Series. I don't know too much about the again, I'm going to call it J32, but I really hope I'm not wrong with that motor name. I'm pretty sure it's the J32. I don't know too much about the J32, but if I had to guess, I would say it's pretty reliable as well. I don't think it's going to be as reliable as the K-Series, because that's an inline-4 Honda motor, whereas the J32 is a V6, but it's still reliable. Like, the K-Series is the one mainly here that I'm talking about when it comes to the reliability, but it's just freaking bulletproof. There's a reason why the K-Series is still being put in Accords to this day. Well, at least they put it in the 10th gen. I don't know if they put it in the 11th gen, but I know in the 10th gen Accords it had a K20 in it. Like, they're just simply unkillable. Reason number 3, however, why I think you should not buy a 7th generation Honda Accord is because if you really think about it, if you really get down to the brass tacks here on this car, they're kind of just a heavier Acura RSX. Especially if you get, well, mainly if you get the K-Series one. That's the biggest downside, in my opinion, to the 7th gen Accords. That's the only real argument that can be made about these cars as to why somebody that's looking to get into a car that's fun to drive and is reliable and easy to work on, blah, 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 shouldn't do it. And it's because, again, I really think it is kind of just a heavier RSX. The RSX is pretty much the same car as this, but just a lot lighter with a shorter wheelbase and much better suspension, much better aerodynamics. Like, the car is just overall built for performance over the Accord. And so if that's what you're going for, which if you're, let's be honest, if you're watching this video, that's probably what you're going for, I would honestly probably just recommend the RSX over this, which hurts to say, because again, I love these cars, but if you're looking for performance only, the RSX is just better. However, if you're looking for a nice mixture of performance and space and like being able to drive your kids around or even just your friends around or whatever, then that's when the Accord comes into play. However, reason number 4 why I think you should buy a Honda Accord 7th generation is the tuning potential. We've talked about the reliability of these motors being incredible. We've talked about the aftermarket support of these motors being incredible, the aftermarket support being dirt cheap, and how easy they are to work on. And now, let's put all that together, and that you get an incredible tuning potential car. Not only when you start to modify this car and start to add some power to it, is it still going to be reliable, because that K-Series just loves any boost, any horsepower additives, anything to this car to make it better. But it's also dirt cheap, and there's also tons of options to choose from, and it's also all extremely easy to install. This is, again, I said it before when talking about the aftermarket support, parts pricing, and ease of use section, but this is truly just one of those cars where it's like, it's so hard to tell a young car guy that's trying to get into the car community and learn how to work on his own car and understand that feeling of accomplishment of getting extra horsepower, whatever it may be, that addiction that all of us car guys have. It's really hard to tell him not to pick up a 7th gen Accord. Reason number 4, however, as to why I think you should not buy a 7th gen Accord, because even though it's hard to do it, I'm still going to try my best. That's right, baby. We're going to try our best to find some downsides. And this is the only, like, at this point, this is the only genuine, true downside to the car on this list. Like, for example, the first one was the sound. Well, you could like the sound, and that's not a downside. The second one was the looks. Well, you could like the looks, and then that's not a downside. And the third one was that it's just a heavier RSX. And while it is slightly a downside, it's not for everybody. This is the first one where it's like, okay, this is actually a problem. These cars do tend to have some wiring issues, like the power door locks, the ignition switch, and the climate control system tend to go more frequently than a regular car. I'm going to be honest, so all 3 of those things are not the end. Well, ignition switch, that's a pretty big deal. But power door locks and climate control systems are both not that big a deal. They really are not that bad, man. I haven't, my freaking window, my power window on my Integra hasn't worked the entire time I owned it. Like, small little electronic things like that, yeah, it can be a little annoying owning the car, but it is definitely not a deal breaker for me and for most car guys, I would say. But reason number 5, and the final reason as to why I think you should buy a 7th generation Honda Accord. Not really, I can probably come up with another 10 reasons, but this is the point of the video. So the space in both the cabin and cargo, we talked about this again when talking about the heavier RSX thing, but yeah, this is the reason why these cars are so much heavier than an RSX. It's because the RSX was built specifically for performance in mind. So what that meant is they were smaller cars. They didn't have as much space. I know that firsthand because, again, of my Integra. RSX is just another, the next generation Integra, pretty much. Does not have a lot of space in it at all. I am absolutely squished in that car as a 6'1" man. However, I have been in Accords, not a 7th gen Accord, but I have been in Accords. They have plenty of space whatsoever. You can carry however many people you want, whether it's alive people in your back seat or dead people in your trunk. You got plenty of room, no matter what it is that you're looking to do with these cars, and that's always a big bonus. Like, trust me, I know, as if you're like a young car guy watching this video, you don't think it's that big a deal. After owning a 350Z for 2 years and then an Integra for 2 years after that, trust me, I've come to appreciate having space in my car. But reason number 5 as to why I think you should not buy a Honda Accord 7th generation, and the final reason as to why I think you shouldn't buy one of these cars, and this is genuinely the final reason, like, I can't think of any other reasons why you shouldn't buy these cars. Spoiler alert for the final thoughts on this video, but these cars are just incredible. But it is that the interior quality is average at best. I don't think anyone's going to be surprised about this, but yeah, I mean, it's a freaking late 2000s, well, mid to late 2000s Honda. Like, it's a commuter car. What did you expect? Mercedes level interior? Obviously, it doesn't have that. Obviously, the interior quality, you're not going to feel like a CEO driving a 7th gen Accord. If you were expecting to feel like a CEO in one of these cars, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just not what's going to happen. But either way, my final thoughts, we're not going to, like, end this video. We're just going to roll right into it from this one. So my final thoughts on the car. Do I think you should buy the car after looking at the reasons why and the reasons why not? I think just about anyone could buy one of these cars and it would be a good choice, honestly, especially for their price. I mean, they're just so freaking cheap, man. You really can't go too wrong with these cars. However, if all you care about is tuning potential, if you are a car guy and literally all you care about whatsoever is just making the most amount of power and just having as much fun as possible, I would recommend an RSX, or honestly maybe even a Civic over this, just due to the weight and suspension being a little bit bouncier and just not as sporty as those other cars. There's a reason why, like, most car guys that build up Hondas do that to Civics, they do that to Integras, or they do it to, like, Preludes. They're not really building up Accords as much as those cars, even though they do it, it's just not nearly as frequent. There's a reason for that. But, however, at the end of the day, if you are one of those guys that, yes, you want to have fun in a car, but at the same time, you still want to have a practical car with enough space to bring your buddies around, bring your friends, or whatever it may be, and have enough space to go fishing if you want to, let's say, then I think these are just absolutely freaking incredible options. The price is so incredible. The aftermarket support is incredible. It's such a good beginner tuner car. It's really hard to argue against it. Like, again, all the reasons why I said you shouldn't buy one today are mostly just personal opinion, like the sound, the looks, the heavier RSX, like, those things are not that big a deal. And the interior quality is average. Yeah, it's average, but again, I've never been the biggest guy that cares about interior. I feel like most car guys aren't. The only ones that are a genuine problem, and the only reason why you genuinely shouldn't buy the car, is the wiring issues. But if you truly believe that any car from the 2000s or 90s is not going to have any wiring issues right now, you're kind of an idiot. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on the top 5 reasons why you should and the top 5 reasons why you should not buy a 7th generation Honda Accord. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel called Giggity Plays. It'll be the pinned comment where I'll be uploading any sort of gameplay videos, live gameplay videos in the future. No editing style, no upload schedule, just for fun. That's all that channel's there for. It's just for fun. So if you guys are interested in watching me play some video games, that's where it'll be. But either way, guys, happy Thanksgiving again. I hope you guys are having a great day. And again, this is such a new series. For those who don't know, this series of 5 reasons why you should and 5 reasons why you should not series, I started maybe 3 videos ago. I think I've done literally 2, the E46 and the SC300 and SC400. Those are the only 2 videos I've done on these 5 reasons why and 5 reasons why not so far. So this is a 3rd video. So I'm still working out the edges, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to understand how I want this script to be and still trying to get the script correctly. I think we have like the actual video itself correct, like the Y1 and then not Y1, Y2 and then not Y2, Y3 and then whatnot. I think that part's good, and then the final thoughts being at the end, I think all that stuff is good. I think I definitely should end the video next time and or end the video after like the not Y5 and then start a new part for the final thoughts. I think that'll be a smarter idea for next time, so I'll probably end up doing that next time. But the only real thing I'm trying to get down is the intros to these videos and trying to get the disclaimers out there easier. That's the part I want to get down, because as you can tell in the video, there was multiple times where I had to be like, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but this is how this video works. Oh yeah, I had to explain how the video is going to work in the video, which is a little unfortunate. So I think I really want to nail that part down. Like, I want to make sure in the intros I tell people like, okay, it's going to be 1 reason why, 1 reason not, 1 reason why, 1 reason not, so that they understand going into it. And just things around that line. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Oh, and tell them about the final thoughts, because again, in the intro today, actually, you know what, I'm going to add that right now before I forget, because I'm going to forget. I have the absolute words. I have a memory of a freaking goldfish. Honestly, not even goldfish could beat me in a spelling bee if they wanted to. Final thoughts at I don't care, I'm doing it right in front of you guys. If you're watching this part of the video, you don't care about my rambling and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, you might be one of those people that actually like it, which, by the way, I've seen those comments of people being like, Mark, don't get rid of the rambling in the intros. I like the rambling, and I appreciate that, man. Trust me, from the bottom of my heart, I do, because it's kind of, it makes me a little self-conscious because it's my ADHD, and so I always am like, damn, I'm a YouTuber. I'm supposed to be able to like talk to a camera nicely without like any problems really, but I can't, and I've been doing it for 5 years now, but my ADHD is still not like good enough to the point where I just ramble sometimes. I lose my train of thought a lot. And so seeing those comments makes me happy and everything, but you have to understand, like, I get a lot of other comments of people that aren't subscribed to my channel, aren't like you, and which, by the way, love you, seriously, but people that aren't like you, that are like, man, can you just get to the point? And it makes sense, you know, they click on a video where I'm advertising something, pretty much, if that makes any sense, where I'm advertising that they're going to see 5 reasons why they should not and 5 reasons why they should buy an Accord. That's what they want to see. That's what I told them they would see, and that's what they clicked on the video to see. It is not fair to them to have to sit through me rambling about things that they did not click on the video for. So I'm trying to get the rambling out of the intros and into the outros. That way the people that actually care about my channel can listen to the rambling still and everything like that. And the people that wanted to see what the video was for, saw what the video was for, they can click off at this point, and that's all there is to it. You know what I mean? But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I think I'm trying to, like, again, I think I'm getting the script down a little bit better now, so that should be good. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.